paving the way for new frontiers. So here we are. We got a lot to read. Great. With me having my struggles of reading, this ought to be good. But I am very curious on what they decide to tell us for the future of Destiny, because right now things are obviously rough on morale about Destiny's future. So let's see what they got. Paving the way for new frontiers. Here we go. So today marks the 10th anniversary of Destiny. Oh yeah, I forgot about that as well. That's apparently going on. We set out in 2014 to do something new and different for our studio. We've conquered the Witness, looted dungeons, ascended to the lighthouse, and more. Now we look to the future. We're plotting our course to the stars through Codename Frontiers. We close the door with the final shape, but we are opening a new one, a weird one, an exciting one that takes Destiny to places it has never been before. We're building the future now and are excited to share with you a first glimpse of it today. Oh, look at this. Codename Frontiers. Okay, so yeah, I heard that this is going to be like the format. It was like rumored that they're going to do 2 expansions, like mini expansions. Codename Apollo, Behemoth. So summer 2025 we got Apollo, and then winter 2025 we have Behemoth. Okay, I see that is that like, so now this is where I'm kind of confused. So there's 4 major updates, but then there's 2 seasons technically, it looks like. I don't know if there's 4 seasons or 2 seasons. I don't know. Okay. Oh, on the left side. Okay, I see it. Expansions, new stories, new locations, new missions, new weapons, new gear, new raids and dungeons. Oh, thank goodness. And they used it plural. Raids and dungeons. I'm going to assume 2 dungeons and 2 raids for the year. That's just what I'm assuming. But at least we're still getting that. Seasonal update, new and reprised activities, new gear and artifact mods, new modifiers and challenges, new sandbox meta, new events. Okay. Reward pass, exotic weapon and ornament, legendary weapon and armor ornaments, gear, upgrade, resources, cosmetics, and more. Okay, so the reward pass is, I guess, like just like how the season passes kind of work now with the battle pass thing, whatever. I wonder if you have to pay for that though, as well. Like, I'm gonna guess that the expansions you have to pay for. Obviously, I'm still curious. I heard that they have not given a price tag yet when it comes to the expansions. So hopefully not ridiculous, because I know that's a big pain point for a lot of players when it comes to the expansions of how expensive they can be. So this roadmap lays out our plan for year 11 and beyond, with some exciting changes to our annual model. 2 expansions per year, 4 major updates of free content every year. Oh, okay. Over the next few months, we will be sharing more info with you on Codename Frontiers, which is how we are describing major innovations coming to Destiny over the next few years, starting with our next expansion, Codename Apollo. We have several dev insight deep dives going live today, and we'll continue to add more to this list over the weeks and months to come. Today, we also have Tyson Green, the game director of Destiny 2, and Allison Lors, sorry if I butchered your name, the Destiny 2 narrative director, diving through some of the future plans for Destiny 2. Our goal is to be more transparent in our communications with you. This means sharing our work more frequently, even if you see our mistakes and false starts along the way. So please remember that our roadmap and plans are subject to change as we get deeper into development. Hopefully maybe for the better, but you know, I get that. Ultimately, this is your game 2. We want you to see more of how it is made and why. If you take it away nothing else, it should be this. We're excited for Destiny to change and improve in ways that allow it to keep evolving in the future, which is that right there. Good. Please mean that, like, because we're seeing that ourselves, where it's just Destiny needs to evolve, and it's just struggling being way too old. I mean, Destiny 2 is 7 years old, and that's why everyone's like wanting a Destiny 3, because Destiny 2 just doesn't feel new, and it doesn't feel good the way that where it is right now, and has been for a while. So, I'm like I said, I'm curious on what they have to say. Below, you will find a list of dev insight, deep dives, various innovations coming with Codename Frontiers. We'll be building upon this section over the next few months with breakdowns of features and changes coming to Destiny, core game activities, core game rewards, and the portal. So I will read those as well, because yeah, we got a lot. Our vision for the future of Destiny 2. Oh, look at that concept art. That looks really nice. Right, here we go. Tyson Green. My name is Tyson, and I'm the game director of Destiny 2, and I'm excited to speak today about our team's vision for Destiny. First and foremost, we all still love Destiny. It is a unique and challenging game, both for you and for us. I personally been working on Destiny for 15 years, and it still excites me creatively. And there are not many games I could say about that. But at the same time, we recognize that it has become too rigid, whatever. Expansions have started to feel too formulaic. See, they're noticing it, and are over too quickly with little replay value. Yes! Seasons and episodes keep getting bigger, but can still feel like you are just going through the motions. We believe it's time for Destiny to change and evolve. There we go. This is saying more about evolving and changing, and that our community wants this game to grow and innovate too. And to do that, we need to start breaking some of the molds. That's a good sign, hopefully. Annual expansions. So we're going to start with annual expansions. We've loved creating annual expansions and are especially proud of the final shape, but the truth is that they dominate almost all of our development effort. We need to free ourselves up to explore and innovate with how we deliver Destiny 2 content, so we can invest in areas of the game that will feel more impactful to players. Starting next year, instead of one big expansion, we're going to deliver 2 medium-sized expansions, one every 6 months. Each of these will depart from the one-shot campaign structure we've been using essentially unchanged since Shadowkeep, and each will be an opportunity to explore exciting new formats instead. We are excited to try new things that challenge your idea of what Destiny, a Destiny experience could be. We are actively prototyping non-linear campaigns. Non-linear, okay. Normally non-linear decisions. Well, I'll give my feelings in a moment. Exploration experiences similar to the Dreaming City or Metroidvanias. Okay, and even more unusual formats like roguelikes or survival shooters. Okay. Each expansion will present a new opportunity to try something different. Departing from one-shot campaigns doesn't mean we are turning away from the great storytelling. Good. Going forward, we want to return the mystery and wonder that was woven into the fabric of early Destiny when the story felt ripe with possibilities and an epic sense of exploration and discovery. Great stories are as important as ever in our creative vision, and Allison will touch more on that below. So, the non-linear shooter stuff, like campaigns, I mean, and the, like, you know, talking about roguelikes and stuff, like these very spicy words, but in like when they are actually put into the game, who knows how that turns out. I mean, non-linear campaigns can always be really rough to do, especially if they don't make any huge impacts. I mean, remember the Gambit, you know, siding with the Drifter or the Vanguard, and that did like nothing when it came to storytelling. Like yeah, Destiny definitely needs some big overhauls on how it does its storytelling. And my biggest issue is that these expansions, as great as they are, when it comes to replayability as a video game, it can be pretty rough. And that's kind of where I was like, I would much rather see expansions be guaranteed to be the size of like Final Shape or even larger, but like maybe wait on those. Don't do them every year, but maybe like every like 2 to 3 years, if that means that we get guaranteed something huge. So I'm curious about the whole split expansions thing. So here we go. Seasons. With a change to 2 expansions per year, our seasonal model will be changing as well. Again, this is better. Instead of 3 episodes, we will be building 4 major updates. Okay, so that's what that roadmap showed. So we're going back to 4 seasons, I guess, per year, 1 every 3 months. Each expansion will launch alongside a major update at the start of the season, and then a second major update will follow 3 months later to refresh the core game with new and reprised content, including activities, strikes. Oh, strikes mentioned. Exotic missions, okay, or entirely new modes like Onslaught. So they're mentioning Onslaught like as if it's just like a one and done thing, even though that format is so good with the Horde mode. I still sit there and say that Onslaught needs to be like a permanent mode idea, because they can use areas that are already in Destiny and just mold them to work for Onslaught like they did with the Midtown. Like, imagine they did that to every PvP map to work for Onslaught, and the same thing with like a lot of patrol areas in dungeons and raids to be working in Onslaught. I don't know. But regardless, curious. Rewards, weapons, armor, artifact mods, exotics, and more. Yeah, just pretty much like how seasons work. New weekly events. New weekly events. We're getting Faction Rally back. We won. I'm kidding. I don't know what that means, but okay. Weekly events, new features, combat meta, and balance updates, which that's what we've already been used to. Been getting those change of meta updates, whatever. Okay. Big seasonal reset will still happen, but now twice a year alongside the expansions. Each update will be a substantial refresh of the core game, bringing new activities and reward content. We are also excited to announce that, like Destiny 2 Into the Light, these updates and their content will be free to all players. Oh, yes. So yeah, the major updates are like the new seasons, and now they're going to be free. Now, again, I'm curious about the prices of the expansions, and are there going to be a price to like the Battle Pass thing? Which means we need to talk about the core game itself. Core game. The core game is Destiny's always. The core game is Destiny's always available evergreen activity experience, and we need to fix 2 key things with it. Approachability. First, Destiny is too complex. I won't lie, that is true. We literally, with literally hundreds of activities, you practically need a PhD to decide what to play and how to get rewards you're looking for. That's true. I mean, any new player is going to be overwhelmed. Us veteran players, we're used to that, but yeah, when it comes to new players, yeah, that can be pretty rough. And we're reworking our reward model to make sure that all those activities offer meaningful rewards. Our deep dives on activities and rewards go into more detail. Okay, so we'll have to read that to see what they mention there. Gear and challenge should matter. Yes, it should. Even great activities stop mattering if the challenge dries up and the rewards aren't worth it. Exactly, true. So we're investing in a greatly improved challenge customization system to let players of any skill range find the right challenge level for them, with rewards that improve based on the challenge level you take on. These won't just be simple incoming damage increases either. Oh, thank goodness. The team is cooking up some great gameplay modifiers that give enemies some exciting tools to mix things up on every run. Oh no, they're gonna now be able to do a finisher on us and get us across the map. We will have a deep dive coming soon to show off some of these new threats. Okay, interesting. Mini Screebs 2.0 probably going to be a thing. As for the rewards, there will be higher tiers of legendary gear. Think adept weapons and artifice armor. Oh, they'll be available from these higher challenge ranges in much wider variety of activities across both PvE and PvP. These 2 changes will help the core game experience be easier to drop into and much deeper in terms of variety and pursuit of personal mastery. And they are starting point for ongoing changes aimed to continue to improve Destiny in these regards. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, because making sure content like core content stays, one, worth your time for like the grinds, but you also want to make sure that they're feeling fresh and fun to still do. So you know, changing things. I mean, like a good example was like in Destiny 1 when they took like an old strike and then revamped it later on, like how they did Taniks with Siva, for example. Those were things that kept it interesting, like in a way, but it's something that's dated where we need more innovation. So I'm curious on what they're going to do with the challenge system and, you know, these modifiers other than just like making things, you know, hit you harder. The next multi-year saga starts with Codename Apollo. Hello, I am Ellison, and I'm the D2 narrative director. I'm a fresh face at Bungie. I started doing narrative direction for seasons in fall 2022. My first D2 expansion was The Final Shape. We're proud of The Final Shape and the ending we created for Light and Darkness Saga, and we know that the episodes that follow would act as an epilogue, tying up Light and Dark's hanging threads, but also setting us up for the what's next. The episodes close doors and open new ones, purposeful ones, storylines that are set in place to prepare us for what comes next. And what is next is our new saga. Okay, there it is, stating a new saga. Okay, what is this? What are the... Okay, there's a boat back there. You'll see teases of it in the later 2 episodes and then fully kick off with Codename Apollo. This next saga is also based around a core theme, much like Light and Darkness did. It will introduce plenty of new characters, factions, twists, and more. Oh, okay. Catching my interest there. There's a lot more here we will say eventually, but we don't want to spoil the journey for you. This will be a multi-year journey, one we can't wait to take you on. Our first expansion, Codename Apollo, is a non-linear character-driven adventure. Again, risky when you have a non-linear story. Like if it doesn't make huge impacts of like the decisions we make as a like our characters and stuff, I don't know. But multi-year journey, I don't know. You know, multi-year could be 3 years, 2 years, 4 years. Who knows? But yeah, at least they mention new saga. So yeah, we're stepping into another one outside of now that the Darkness and Light saga is now done. So there's our confirmation. What do we mean by Codename Apollo is non-linear? Previously in stories like Final Shape, you experience a story as A to B to C to D. It is a nice straight line. In Codename Apollo, our story takes place over dozens of threads you'll explore and discover. So when you land on a brand new location, the story starts at A, and then you can choose if you want to explore C first, or try and get into B, or maybe investigate D. And the options you didn't choose, don't worry, those other options are still open for you to go back and play through. You'll need to. Because the more you play and discover, the more the story progresses. So experiencing a certain number of threads opens up the next part of the story. The order in which you explore will be something you choose, but we have built Codename Apollo in a way the story always makes sense and flows from beginning to middle to end. There's no time gating, no waiting for the next drop. Codename Apollo's story unfolds based on players' progression. Okay. Again, sounds great on paper. This concept art looks amazing, interesting. But it does lead into, okay, is it just going to be like, feel like adventures where here's this that you do, this and this? I don't know. But curious. Yes, of course. It's going to be a big thing with me. It's just being curious, not being like, wow, I'm so hyped, because I want to see this stuff. Destiny is at its best when it's mysterious, weird, and not afraid to try new things. This shift to non-linear stories isn't something we're locking ourselves into, but is the structure that fits Codename Apollo best. The narrative structure of the releases that follow will be quite different, a structure to suit that game's experience, and we want to continue to innovate with each expansion across both gameplay and narrative. Okay. Yeah. All right. Into the unknown. This all sounds like a big change, and it is, because when the rhythm of our story becomes predictable, or when characters and our world fail to change, that's how we create a situation, not a story. So how can we innovate? By telling a story that keeps up with our innovations, not one that slows it down. That means an evolving world, giving space for new characters, growing and evolving factions, making sure the story we tell is in a world we have nurtured, and with characters who grow in turn. We believe in rewarding the player for playing or paying attention without punishing someone for not knowing something. That way, everyone gets to come along for the ride, no matter how deep in the lore they are. You'll see the approach starting with episodes and continuing into the new multi-year story. So when we think about a multi-year arc, what does that look like? Think of it as a constellation of stories united by a single theme. We will show you what that theme is later, but suffice to say we believe in it. Okay. Think of this multi-year arc as a web, not a line. Each release fits into the larger saga. We can't wait to take you on that journey. Story is easy to spoil, so we won't ruin the details for what the theme in Codename Apollo is or what it's about, but I will give you something to look forward to. Apollo ends with a narrative gasoline that will propel us into the next few years with a clear theme, goal, and a destination that won't come at you as a straight line, but will be worth the trip. It'll reward you, it'll surprise you, and it'll take us places Destiny has never seen before. See you when the time is right. Okay. And with that, we come to a close. A new beginning, really. Over the next few months, we'll be dishing out more deep dives and engaging in more conversation. We have no doubts the above breakdown of Codename Frontiers plans will spawn far more questions than we can answer, but we'll be looking to keep you up to date as we take flight. Keep an eye on the deep dive section, as we'll be adding links to further topics. Thank you again for joining us in the first 10-year journey in Destiny. We've been through so much, battling the darkness and stopping the witness. Layoffs. Now it's time to look to the stars again. It's time to imagine, to dream big and explore with what our futures can be within this universe. We have our heading and hope to see you join us the way. So they mention Apollo ends with a narrative gasoline that propels us into the next few years. So basically what I'm taking with this new approach on the two expansions, like the separation, is it is going to lead into the big new saga, or at least I hope so. I don't know what that will mean in if we're still gonna be on Destiny 2, or if they are working towards a Destiny 3 down the road. Again, I know it's just whatever that they decide to do, they do need to essentially reshape Destiny 2 to where it's a new game. And with what they're talking about with just the story and the format, it sounds like that's what they want to do. Will they? We will have to wait and see, because again, with how they expressed with episodes, it felt to me like it was just seasons stretched out. Like when they showed the roadmap, I was like, this is just seasons stretched out. And I kind of feel the same way with even the roadmap we have here. The only difference here is that we have 2 mini expansions, just medium-sized ones, with this whole new way of doing storytelling. So I'm curious, but if it just feels like we're still doing the whole stretching, and a lot of the stuff that's mentioned is just false hope, no. But I'm still curious. I'm not like, oh yeah, no, nah. Yeah, I think that a lot of us agree that this is just, we need to see this stuff now. There's just been too much of believe us words. Here's a bunch of words saying spicy things like Dreaming City and non-linear story and survival in a shooter, Metroidvania. Like it's just, okay, show that then with these things. Like even the guinea pigs agree, apparently. Like, yes. Okay, core game activities. So yeah, because there's multiple blog posts. Welcome to one of the many developer. Okay, so we can kind of skip that. Let's go down here. Core game activities feature a wider variety of new and updated activities across many types, with an updated selection every major update. Okay, challenge customization will provide a way to adjust activity difficulty with better rewards for those seeking more challenge. The new portal screen allows for quick access to core activities, making it easy to find what you want to play. The problem. In the past, Destiny releases, all attention has been on a relatively small offering of newly introduced seasonal activities, most often with a narrow range of difficulty options, if any. Rewards and objectives have focused all purposeful play into these activities to the exclusion of most others. As a result, the ritual game quickly becomes stale and it is exhausted of worthwhile rewards, and any further pursuit requires a pretty deep knowledge of Destiny or online guides to find worthwhile rewards in older activities. Yeah, it is very confusing, and I've said this so many times that whenever they do these like seasonal activities, it basically makes like strikes, like what is considered the core activities, just useless, and you don't want to do those because they're also being ignored. And I mean, just look at PvP and Gambit. So like, I like the whole different themes of the seasons, but they just don't keep the replayability even within this season. Like, I know that after a season you got a new season with new stuff, but it's even within the season, it's just like, no, I'm done. The solution: core game activity offering and portal. The core game activities are those accessed from the new portal screen and are together a selection of several dozen new and updated activities that tie into the current seasonal theme and gameplay meta. This selection is updated every major update, includes the current expansion and any running events. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do like it when they do UI changes, especially if it makes things a lot better. And right now, yeah, Destiny is very confusing for a lot of new players. So, you know, getting that updated will be very, very nice and this interesting. So, early mock-up, the subject to change. Through these activities cover a wide variety of activity types, like strikes to dungeons to crucible, and organized in categories with similar fireteam requirements. Okay. Challenge customization. The major change to core game activities is that they all support deeper personal mastery and a corresponding deep reward offering. We'll start with PvE activities, then dive into the crucible and PvP, which present unique challenges. All PvE activities will now support robust challenge customization, exposed as new options alongside selecting the difficulty. Ooh. So we got like the Glassway, advanced, expert, master, overview rules, gameplay, enemy power, scoring. And I can see like the loot for the right side. Apply modifiers. Interesting. Okay. At least they're like gonna be telling you what you're getting as well, it seems. Okay, so that, yeah, making it more difficult leads to more rewards. Okay. All right. Work in progress. Mock-up subject change. Challenge customization gives you the ability to select and activate challenge modifiers which affect the activity you are launching. These challenge modifiers may introduce new enemy combatant abilities to increase their threat. Oh, great. Mini Screeps 2.0. Introduce new combat challenges that change how you play. Are we going to have to start destroying a bunch of oracles and Nightfalls? Remember that? D2 vanilla? We had to run through hoops. Is that coming back? Oh, no. Provide incentives for changing up your build crafting. Raise the power target to the activity globally, increasing the difficulty. As a player, you will first be able to select a base difficulty such as Expert or Grandmaster. The difficulty will set some base difficulty tuning and a power target but more importantly will determine how many challenge modifiers you can add on, and in some cases, which challenge modifiers are available. Higher difficulty means more challenge modifiers to slot and a wider variety of them to choose from. Reward rating. Rising to the right level of challenge can make an activity not only more fun to play, but more rewarding too. All core game activities will support reward rating, which is a combined team and personal score that determines the amount and quality of rewards obtained at the end of the activity. Reward rating is increased by player playing an activity at higher base difficulty, applying challenge modifiers, which have individual bonuses to reward ratings, having personal bonuses from sources like power, artifacts, or buffs. Here's how reward rating works. As a team, you will earn a team rating over the activity determined on a per activity basis. Sometimes this will resemble existing systems like Nightfall score, but not new activity types can have their own way to determine team rating. This outcome is shared by all members of the team and will always try to mitigate competition between teammates for things like scoring kills or specific setups. At the end of the activity, your team rating is multiplied by any personal bonuses you may have. The final multiplied value is your reward rating, and this value is used to determine the quality and quantity of rewards. Reward rating is used to determine things like the quality tier of the weapons and armor that drop, or the quantity of useful consumables like enhancement prisms or shards. In this way, you can select any core activity, use your skill, and build to take on more challenging versions of it and earn higher and higher tier rewards. Except Crucible. Crucible is a unique challenge because you cannot simply add challenge modifiers or use the score of the match as a team rating. This is a tricky problem that we're still working out. We're working through options like factoring in matchmaking ratings or leveraging existing progressions, but each presents unique challenges to our end goal of ensuring that Crucible offers our PvP players a fair and complete path to higher tier weapons and armor. We will be excited to share a solution once we have one nailed down. Oh, okay. Hopefully that's not just doubling down on, poor decision makings for matchmaking and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see about that. What about expansion activities? Expansion activities such as story missions and destination activities present some unique challenges and how they relate to power and changing seasons. Our intended outcome is that expansion content is always a great way to start off a season and will have a path to higher tier weapons and armor, but that progress via core game activities will be part of that path. Raids and dungeons released with expansions still represent a pinnacle challenge for players and will have their own paths to the highest tiers of weapons and armor too. Are old activities going away? No, except for the seasonal activities that are normally removed at the end of the year. Older activities will remain available from launch from the destination map, just as they are today. Over time, it is a intention to clean up and retire some old activity offerings that are well served by the portal, such as Vanguard Ops. These have lots of ties to existing content through and will need to be moved over gradually. How does matchmaking work with challenge customization? For activities that support matchmaking, like those in Fireteam Ops, matchmaking will be available for those for some present difficulties, but using challenge customization to enable different challenge modifiers will disable matchmaking. Okay, so that makes sense. While Fireteam Finder may be a good way to pick up some slack here, we also intend to feature high challenge options on daily rotations in activities with active bonus rewards. These activities should have concentrated enough populations to ensure that matchmaking can do a good job setting up good matches with solid connections. All right, so this one is about rewards. TLDR, weapons and armor will be available in a deeper range of quality across a wider range of activities. Core game activities will have dedicated reward pools for different categories of activities. Gear will be labeled new gear during the season it is introduced and is easier to recognize and build craft around. The problem: in the past Destiny seasons, only a narrow range of activities received updated rewards, leading to a narrow selection of activities worth playing. Indeed, these reward pools tended to not be very deep either, with most chases bottoming out with weapon perk rolls or crafting recipes, and armor not mattering much at all. Yeah, armor really does not matter in the grand scheme of things when it comes to activities, especially the seasonal stuff. Like, once I get the armor, it's like just kind of like unlocking the transmog unlock of it, and then I'm done. Like, it just doesn't mean much. These problems have resulted in shallow, unsatisfying grinds and a tiny subset of activities actually available to play, with their best rewards being a matter of luck rather than skill or mastery. The solution: weapon and armor tiers. What is this? Legendary weapons and armor will be available in a deeper range of quality tiers that layer on properties like stat bonuses, enhanced perks, and other benefits for weapons. This will be similar to how adept weapons upgrade the baseline legendary. The baseline tier of legendary weapons and armor will be equivalent to current day legendaries, with higher tiers being generally equivalent to adept weapons in terms of upgrade. I mean, sortie. A scout rifle with impact casing. Okay. Obviously this is like a dev kit kind of like mock thing. So yeah, I mean, aggressive 3-round burst scout rifle named Sword. But enhanced everything. Interesting. Okay. Early mock-ups that are subject to change. These higher tiers of weapons and armor will be available from the full range of core game activities as rewards for higher challenge tiers and mastery of those activities. Sounds nice. Reward pools. Reward pools are complete sets of weapons and armor that are available as rewards from one of or more activities. Some weapons are shared across multiple pools, but the majority of weapons and all armor are unique to a single pool. A typical pool is a full armor set for each class and enough weapons to provide multiple options for each weapon slot. All these rewards are available at all tiers, so each reward pool is deep and supports a range of challenge in the activity they are associated with. The major core game reward pools will be updated in every major update and will be core PvE rewards shared among more accessible PvE activities like strikes, core PvP rewards shared among more accessible PvP activities like Crucible Playlist, Pinnacle PvE rewards shared among more intrinsically challenging PvE activities like dungeons, Pinnacle PvP rewards shared among more intrinsically challenging PvP activities like Trials of Osiris. Every expansion also contains 2 full reward pools. Expansion Story, rewards shared among missions, exploration, or other activities in the expansion content. Expansion Raid, dungeon, rewards for expansion, raid, or dungeon activities. In addition to the above pools, some activities like events may have additions exclusive to that activity, such as individual weapons or armor sets. Okay. New gear. New gear will be a blanket category for all the weapons and armor newly introduced in the current season, regardless of source. New gear will receive a special visual treatment to help players identify which weapons or armor sets are new and which may therefore benefit from things like artifact bonuses. Okay, some artifact bonuses which previously applied to specific perks, such as weapon origin traits, will now be pointed towards the wider category of new gear instead. This should provide more and clearer build craft options and make for some shorter tooltips in the artifact. New gear may be required in specific optional activities where players are looking for a level playing field. For example, a Crucible Playlist option for players who want to play with and against the newly introduced gear. A seasonal events centered on posting high scores in specific activities. Does new gear mean old gear is being sunset? No, not at all. Existing gear remains unchanged and ready for use in any activity except those set aside for experimenting with new gear. It can be infused to achieve the same power as newly introduced gear. The only specific advantage to using new gear will be the artifact synergies, which we already have, comparable to origin trade upgrades found in existing artifacts. Yeah. Can I still obtain old gear? Yeah, absolutely. Exclusive gear will remain available from older activities such as raids, dungeons, or destinations. Now, does that mean like... because this is a big problem that I have with like trials, is when they take away weapons from the loot pool and then bring it back. Like, what are we doing with that? And then like having certain roles don't even exist to certain weapons like Eye of Soul, where it used to have snapshot and opening shot. Now you can't get that at all. Would be nice to have that return, maybe. But no. What's happening with weapon crafting? Weapon crafting is not going away and will continue to be a way to craft specific role of a weapon, okay? Our intent is for crafting going forward to provide a catch-up mechanism for roles you weren't able to nab from the original sources. This may be because that source is no longer available or was gated by lockouts when it was. But ultimately, we want crafting to support the weapon chase and not replace it. We'll follow up with more details in future. So it sounds like they're gonna make crafting more of like a catch-up mechanic for like older weapons, and it looks like they're going more towards going back to the whole weapon drops grind, which can be good if it's done right, because making things more difficult and making things like, if there's like a million different roles to get on a palindrome on the last 2 columns and you can't get to the point where you're getting like 3 rolls on the last 2 columns, that grind could probably be a big pain point if you're only getting like 1 going through whatever activity for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes or whatever. But at the same time, I mean, it's a looter shooter, but like I've been really annoyed with it, like specifically in trials where a weapon is only there for the weekend and it's gone for like 8 weeks until it comes back, like stuff like that. All right, the final one, and then we'll kind of share my thoughts on this whole thing. Developer Insight, The Portal. Welcome to one of the many developer insights. All right, so just go down here. TLDR. The portal will offer several categories of activities, each with a wide selection of new and updated activities, refreshed every 3 months with each major update. All activities in the portal will provide updated and worthwhile rewards, so it will be easy to find something to play. The destination map will be cleaned up and focus on world navigation and accessing older activities. The problem: the destination map, also called the director, is Destiny's venerable activity browsing and selection screen. Over the years, it has grown to be very unwieldy, making it hard to find specifically what's current and worthwhile to play, and requiring even more expert knowledge to navigate to find what you're looking for. Even current players can have a difficulty finding a new activity, while new or returning players have even greater trouble. Yeah. The solution: portal screen. So that, yeah, we saw this in that previous post. Portal screen will be a new default activities screen, selection screen, replacing the current destination map. Early mock-up. The emphasis of the redesign is the quick and clean access to wider offering of activities with updated rewards, as well as quick access to the current expansion or event content. Activities will be grouped into categories, more on this these below, that expand to present up to a few dozen activities each. Every activity available to launch from the portal will feature updated rewards every season and will present a viable path to the highest tiers of weapons and armor available. Our intent is for most activity launching in a season to occur from the portal, and any choice you make will be a path to worthwhile rewards. All right. Portal categories. The individual categories available in the portal are solo ops, 1 to 3 player activities requiring very low time or social commitments. These activities are designed for solo players, yet are still fun with a fire team and are easy to pick up and play for a quick session. Solo ops will feature a new activity type, which will get a deep dive soon. Interesting. I hope it's fun, and not just battlegrounds. Fire team ops, 3 player activities for match made or pre-made groups designed for fire teams with more cooperation and coordination. These will feature activities like strikes, onslaught, the coil, and new types in the future. Okay. The Flashpoint Ops. 6-player activities for match-made or pre-made groups planned for a future season. This category will be introduced later next year. It will feature more chaotic 6-player combat-like offenses. Alright, I mean, okay. Interesting. I hope these things will be fun and really good for replayability. Pinnacle Ops. 3-player activities featuring some more challenging content, including dungeons, exotic missions, and full-length onslaughts. Pinnacle Ops have an exclusive reward pool to claim, but success is not guaranteed. Crucible, a selection of core Crucible playlists for solo players and fire teams, providing an opportunity to test your mettle against other guardians. An exclusive reward pool is available to claim, with the same depth of tier as other categories. In addition to the above categories, the portal also provides direct access to current expansion activities, as well as any currently running events like Iron Banner or Festival of the Lost. So yeah, like that I guess, yeah, that's what the events mean. So seasonal events and Iron Banner. The fact that they said new events will be introduced makes me kind of curious because, yeah, I mean, we lost Faction Rally a long time ago. They never brought that back to enhance it and stuff like that, and they basically kind of gave up on it. But I would love to see more events in Destiny that kind of give people like, oh man, I really got to get on this week because there's something fun going on. Objective streamlining. The portal screen will also host consolidated and streamlined side objectives like bounties or seasonal challenges. That aspect of the redesign is still in the work in progress, but the primary goal is to greatly reduce the chores. Yeah, let's hopefully we do reduce that need to be done before diving into an activity. We will be sharing more about this change later in the year. Bonus rewards. Every several activities in each category will have a bonus reward added to their standard offering. These bonus rewards will include things like specific weapons, specific armor slots, currencies like enhancement materials, and strange coins. The bonus reward is guaranteed for the first daily clear and available at a high drop rate on future clears. Activities with bonus rewards will be sorted to the top and easy to find, so that you can quickly scan what's available and decide if any are worth chasing. For match-made activities, they will also offer matchmaking at a wider range of difficulty options. Okay. Are old activities going away? No, except for the seasonal activities. Yeah, they basically explain that. Older activities will remain available over time. Oh, this is new. Over time, it is our intention to clean up and retire some older activity offerings that are well served by the portal, such as Vanguard Ops. These battlegrounds going away. These have lots of ties to existing content, though, and will need to be moved over gradually. Oh my gosh, what about Gambit? Gambit mentioned. Oh yeah, what about Gambit? I'm kind of scared. Gambit will remain available from the destination map, but will not be rolled into the portal categories at the start of the next year. Cool. We are still figuring out our plan for this beloved game mode, and we have some ideas ranging from closer integration into the Crucible category to standalone events that feature it. Oh, curious. Will raids and dungeons be in the portal? Dungeon content will be featured in the Pinnacle Ops category with some alterations to support challenge, customization, and reward rating. Raid content will not intentionally be present in the portal categories. The long clear times combined with a wide variation of experiences present some unique challenges that we are still working through. However, we are excited to get this content into the portal offering in the future. Okay. Now for my thoughts. Okay. So that was a big read. Lots of words. My brain is fried. Again, so with everything that I've read, this is still just another, to me, words. Let's see how it turns out. Because even when they mention things like making activities with the challenges and stuff, they could be just tedious and not fun to do. The problem is that yes, you want to have challenge, but you want to make the activities or whatever that you're doing in the game to be very fun to play, not where it's to the point where you're just so frustrated that you don't want to do it, but you're forcing yourself to get like a weapon or something like that. There should be challenge, but I don't know. I just don't want things to sound great and then they end up not being that. But with the statements about wanting to essentially just almost like it sounds like they do want to reset on how Destiny has been for the longest time. And that right there is making me at least curious about this future, because Destiny does need a new shakeup. And even just like the UI changes always gets me a little bit excited, because Destiny is just a mess with its UI and trying to find what you're doing, and making rewards just a lot better is also nice, and giving more options to challenging content and making a focus on content that is replayable too. Like, I like how that they were mentioning that, like, that when it comes to a lot of these expansions, it's just like you go through it and then you're done. And I don't really like that. Like, it sucks that they put so much effort and time into like final shape for it to be something that we just plow right through and then never really return to. Like, it's just trying to find a way to make this content replayable or focus more on replayability on the things that they're creating. That's why I've been saying for a long time that, like, it just shocks me that they don't try and make at least a strike, a PvP map, a gambit map for each like season in that theme, to kind of keep just an evolving to the core activities, where it's not just getting stale and you just don't go, oh my gosh, I've been playing this map for like 7 years kind of attitude. And I don't know. With these 4 major updates and stuff, like, and then talking about seasonal changes and whatnot, the different narrative decisions with the non-linear choices, these are things, I won't lie, I am curious about. But am I jumping out of my chair to be like, Destiny's saved? No. Reason why is because it's gotten to that point where every time I see these things, it just sounds like just a lot of spicy words to get our attention, and then they release and it just doesn't feel like the words really match the feeling. And I want to be wrong, I really do. That's why I still want to give them faith in what they're creating here. But I guess we'll have to kind of wait and see with more of the deep dives, like they mentioned that they'll talk into. I mean, just like mentioning about like a new solo ops thing, and talking about how, all these challenging rewards and getting like tier 5 loot and stuff like that. Like, holy crap, that sounds interesting to me. But overall, it's just Destiny needs to be more focused on a game that you want to play, and then have the loot there as a added bonus on the grind to be like, oh, I want this, I really want this. My biggest problem with Destiny nowadays is that I'm doing a lot of activities that are just not really enjoyable, but I'm doing it because I want one weapon or something like that. And that sucks. Like, the main focus should be making the content replayable, fun, and something that you just want to keep getting back on and playing over and over and over again, and then have the loot there as well, so then you're double dipping on reasons of why you're playing. So I'm really hoping that they're doing that. When it comes to the future, like they were mentioning after this year of the 2 medium-sized expansions, that's where I'm mainly curious about, is the larger future. I want to know where is things going after this. So obviously they're not going to tell us right now, But I really liked when they did that with like back when they announced like with Beyond Light, and then they were like, oh yeah, we also got Witch Queen, and then they threw out also Lightfall, and Lightfall was supposed to be final shape, but yeah, that was not how it turned out. But like that was like giving us like an actual like, oh my gosh, there's a reason for me to keep playing for 3 years, like where my grinds matter and where, you know, my time investment is going to lead to something. So this is something. I'm not saying that I'm super duper excited, but I am curious, and it sounds nice. And if this stuff really does play out like the way that they're wording it, this could be really good and a right way of moving Destiny into a good position. But I'm still at that point where just there's been just too much bad stuff where players have left, that I feel like when it comes to getting players back on Destiny, it is making a Destiny 3, not necessarily on like new engine and whatever. It's just like a clean start for everybody, where it's like, here you go, we did it right this time, whatever. I don't know. I still have that mindset. I know that everyone's very mixed on it, but I'm still curious. Maybe they can prove me wrong and just really do a great job on this. But yeah, when it comes to what they said, curious, a little bit excited, I guess. I mean, it's nice to know that we're getting raids and dungeons still for these expansions. And when it comes to story, talking about mysteries again and stuff like that, like we did in Destiny 1, I want to feel that again. I really do. So I hope that they can really get this. So I don't know, but I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. But regardless, let's hope for a future that's really good for Destiny. But regardless, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a chibi-tastic night, evening, morning, whatever. My brain is fried from all the reading, and I'll see you in the next video. Chibi out.